Welcome back to the channel. We know what is going on. I don't need to talk about it. We know the craziness that is going on in the transfer window right now. And we know how reactionary fans are becoming. Talking about Liverpool fans and Newcastle fans and the whole footballing community, because the craziness we've been hearing of in this transfer window, especially regarding the move of Alexandra Isak, is crazy. It's chaotic. It is pure drama. And yeah, the last 2 days is just the height of it. We've seen it all. Because within so far as we all know it, as we understand it, Liverpool's main striking target has been Alexandra Isak. They've been very open about it. They've spoken about it that we want Alexandra Isak as our first choice striker, and we are ready to pay up to a certain amount of money for him. Now, the amount they are trying to pay for him is fairly decent. It's actually an insane amount of money. We are talking of around 120 130 million. But is Newcastle, on the other hand, also have something serious to say about that, and they say that Isak is not for sale. The only thing that will make us think about selling him is anything around 200 million, and we all know it that I don't think any club is ready to pay that amount of money at this moment for a striker. So because of where we all understand things to be, Liverpool have also kind of been making some efforts, and Newcastle have also stood their ground, saying that this is the only thing we want for him, or the deal is not happening. So it got to a point where everything is basically in the hand of Isak. If he wants the moves to go through, he could put in a transfer request, but none of that has happened until just 2 days ago, when we started hearing of several things that made fans to ask a lot of questions. Now, the first thing we heard is that Newcastle started to ask questions about a new striker. Now we are talking of Ekitike. Yeah, and the interesting thing about their request or their intention to basically add Ekitike to their squad is that they are saying that he is not coming as a replacement for Isak, but he is coming to play alongside Isak. Now, despite the fact that they said that, okay, we looking into a new striker doesn't mean we are ready to let go of who we already have on the ground. We all had questions to ask. The most recurring one is that, okay, if Newcastle are looking for a new striker, then it is possible that they already know that Liverpool would be able to pen Isak in this particular window. That's the general consensus many people had, of course, except Newcastle fans. Newcastle fans are saying, hold on, we know what we are doing. We want to work with two strikers who are really good, because Newcastle fans, they don't see themselves the way other fans see them. For me, and for maybe other people in the footballing world, we know the top 6 clubs in the Premier League. But when you look at Newcastle fans, they are seeing themselves as one of those top 6 clubs. And honestly, you can't even blame them for thinking like that, because they've already done the groundwork. They have a solid team. Money is not their problem, and they have a very good manager. But then we all know that when you put Newcastle on one side and you put Liverpool on the other side, most people would want to play for Liverpool instead of Newcastle. That's the fact. That is the fact. There is no point arguing it. So because of that particular move that was made by Newcastle recently, just 2 days ago actually, we started seeing speculations that Liverpool could actually push to get Isak, and they would succeed. With all that happening, we saw another news that actually got people screaming out loud. In less than 24 hours from that particular move, Liverpool also joined the race for Ekitike, who happens to be the person that Newcastle turned their attention to. So basically, Ekitike is one of those strikers in this particular window that has been linked to so many clubs. I'm not even kidding. Before Chelsea got Pedro, they were also linked with Ekitike. Arsenal has been linked with him. So many clubs has been linked with Ekitike. Of course, he's not yet as experienced as Isak, but the talent is there. So, in just yesterday, Newcastle were linked with him, and they were asking serious questions about him. But then Liverpool decided to join the race, and the recent update we got was that Ekitike is saying that he is only interested in joining Liverpool. So while all that was going on, Newcastle just pulled out of that race. This particular one is happening this morning. As of this morning, Newcastle pulled out of the race for Ekitike and decided to change their attention to someone else who has been performing in the Premier League. This time around, they are looking at Wissa of Brentford. And the information about that is coming from very reputable sources. Fabrizio is the one that came out this morning to confirm that Newcastle has already pulled out of the race for Ekitike. And then David Ornstein came out basically minutes later. This is in the space of 20 minutes. He came out minutes later to say that, okay, Newcastle have now focused their attention on getting Wissa from Brentford. So, from the look of things at this very moment, Liverpool could be completing the signing of Ekitike basically within this week or latest by next week, because all personal terms are already agreed on. That's based on the report we got a few minutes ago. Ekitike have also said that he's only interested in joining Liverpool. But now the question that people are still asking is, if Newcastle happens to bring Wissa into the squad and Liverpool successfully brings in a striker like Ekitike into the squad, bearing in mind that the likes of Darwin Núñez could still be leaving, like his chances of leaving is still on a very high. He could be leaving this window. Diaz is actually the most likely of them all to leave. Elliott could be leaving. I wouldn't want him to leave, but I understand that he's already getting to that age where he needs to be playing week in, week out, and Liverpool may not be the place for him, considering the fact that we still have a very active and hungry Mohamed Salah, who interestingly also doesn't get injured at all throughout the season. So from where everything is standing, the question remains that a Liverpool that already has Ekitike in their squad, would they still be interested in signing Isak? The reason this had to be asked is because, let's say Liverpool managed to solve their striking position without bringing Isak into their squad, and Isak remains a Newcastle player for the rest of this year. By next year, if he fails to renew his contract, he will still be in the market, and by this time around, we will have the likes of Barca, the likes of Bayern Munich being there and being interested in his signature. And we all know it that as time passes, the price that Newcastle are actually asking for would start looking ridiculous, because by next year, I'm not sure if they would be able to get anywhere close to that figure. But that's it on the whole Isak Newcastle deal. Let's turn our attention from Newcastle and Isak and switch it over to fully focus on Liverpool, because apart from the whole situation that is coming up in the striking position, there is already an interesting news that have been making the rounds in recent days, and that is this whole talk about Rodrigo of Real Madrid. We all know that currently, Alonso being the manager of Madrid, I don't really think he has any serious plan for the likes of Rodrigo in that squad, because if he had a plan for him, it would have been very noticeable in the Club World Cup. But you can go check his stats in the Club World Cup. He barely had opportunity to play games in that sport, and at the moment he appears to be picking interest from a couple of teams. Arsenal is one of those people that seems to be interested in him. Liverpool are also quite interested in him, but I know for that to be something that would materialize in the future, we also have to solve the whole Diaz situation as soon as possible. Currently, Bayern are showing good interest in Diaz. Barca have not really shown that much interest in recent days, but Bayern are quite serious. But in terms of the money they are bringing to the table, it doesn't seem to be in alignment with what Liverpool are quoting for Diaz. But another side that is quite interested in Diaz is the Saudi side. The Saudi side are interested to pay 100 million for him, and I'm very sure that Liverpool would happily grab that money, but it's now left to see if the Diaz will be interested in that particular move. So that's it. The transfer window is just a crazy place. Like, a lot of craziness is happening right now, and I'm not one of those people to jump into every news in the transfer window. But preseason is also on. As you saw it, Liverpool played preseason just over the weekend, and our next preseason fixture is coming up in 2 days' time. So tune in to the channel for that particular one. I'll be bringing up my review of the match and everything that comes alongside it. So if you are not already part of this community, if you are not yet connected to the channel, this is your time to do so. Start the process by liking the video, leave your comments, and then subscribe. Thank you.